Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tsoulianos, and brought to you by his new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2. Look at the size of that thing. Good Lord. Everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and PED use, all in those pages. And of course, if you're on Amazon.com buying that, might as well buy Real Bodybuilding by Ron Harris. And now, all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome the good doctor, George N. Tsoulianos. Hey, doctor, how are you?
Hi, Ron. Have a good week.
Yeah, so let's get right into questions. We got a lot of questions this time. Let's go with the first one. Can you explain the mechanics of action of aldactone, diazide, and aldactazine for contest prep? Which of these three diuretics do you prefer to use and why?
So personally, I've used aldactone, which is spironolactone. It's a potassium-sparing diuretic. And the advantage of this particular diuretic is that you don't look flat. You retain potassium, which is the main intracellular element. So you don't look flat and you don't get spasm out of hypokalemia. So you can have this fullness of the muscles. All right. Unlike, of course, the elastics, the furosemide that drains you and the flush away, everything's really risky for getting cramps and spasms, as you flex. Now, aldactone takes a little bit of time. I think you need 72 hours to use it. And I remember that Samir Benoot told me to use it AM and PM, so every 12 hours. The problem with aldactone is that it's potassium sparing, then gradually potassium elevates. That can lead to heart arrhythmia, especially if you load with foods rich in potassium like bananas, potatoes, and oranges. Now, if somebody faints backstage, you need to ask him or his, at least his coach, and be decent, of course, and honest. What kind of diuretic did you take? Because you can kill him if he had an aldactone. You give him potassium, because usually we give potassium in cramping and in fainting, and this is what Benaziza. They use him intravenous potassium, and Milo said that they sent him to the other world sooner, because they killed him. They killed him instantly, out of heart arrhythmia, ventricular fibrillation, which is a fatal arrhythmia. Yeah. And actually, this is a perfect way to commit suicide, or for the euthanasia, or the dead man walking. Those people that they have the death penalty, they give him intravenous potassium, they kill him, within seconds. Yeah.
Jeez.
And the other thing, the thiazide is a smart diuretic. So thiazide is 50% furosemide, potassium sparing, and not potassium sparing. So the benefit is that from the one point of view, you retain potassium. From the other half of the diuretic, you flush sodium and potassium, so the potassium doesn't elevate dangerously. Okay, so you become drier, but you lose also a little bit of potassium in order to avoid the heart arrhythmia, but also you retain a part of it. Yeah. All right. Now remember, Marcus Rule in Athens told us about thiazide. Tell you a little bit thiazide, because it's a bit safer than aldactone. I remember 2016, I was in Columbus, Ohio, with one Greek and one Cyprian athlete. Now the Cyprian athlete is a pro in 212. He told me, Doc, what's your protocol in diuretics? I told him, you can take 12.5 AM and PM of aldactone. He said, oh my God, I'm taking 100 with every meal. I said, you're going to go to the other wall, to the other side like this. He said, I'm sorry, your protocols doesn't work efficiently, I say, don't mess up. But he won the category, his class, the minus 220. So it was the heavyweights. And he said, Doc, you were right. I couldn't flex my feet. They were cramping backstage. You see, don't fuck up with the diuretics,
Yeah. I've only taken diazide, and I took someone told me to take a half, and of course I'm an idiot. I took the whole tab. My foot was like this, like a claw. I could not straighten my foot out. I was like, what is wrong with my feet?
I've experienced here cramping in the brachioradialis, when I do flexing.
Yeah.
So nasty. Then you need also, when I'm going to take a crap at the bathroom, I couldn't stand up because my rectus abdominis was flexed.
Wow.
Horrible.
Yeah. Diuretics are no joke, guys. Please be very careful.
Remember Paul Dillette?
Yeah, I remember Paul Dillette when he turned into a statue on stage.
And who was yeah.
I know who his coach was.
For that, he took advice for somebody,
I know who he was. Yeah. Not going to name him. The only pro from Cyprus I remember was a guy named Agathocles or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
mean,
him.
poor guy, he died of thyroid cancer in 33, but he was,
Ah,
finalist in Ironman and Arnold Classic 96.
yeah,
He was the first and last Greek guy who won the Mr. Universe FBB.
I remember.
160 countries. Can you believe that? It was the toughest competition amateur.
Yeah, I think they had it out in the South Pacific Islands that year too. It was way out there.
Yes.
Okay. Next question from a young guy says, "Hi, I'm 29 years old. I'm on TRT, 250 milligrams test enanthate, 100 milligrams deca, and 750 IU's HCG for the last 2 years. I've been lifting hard for the last 7 to 8 years. I also suffer from ulcerative colitis since 2014. Currently on tofacitinib therapy. My condition heavily impacts my daily life and also my fitness journey. Extreme pain, fatigue, blood loss, joint inflammation, appetite ups and downs, hypotension, nerve inflammation, performance fluctuations, etc. TRT is helping, but a lot of times it's not enough. I was thinking about adding some oxandrolone or something similar in order to further boost anabolism, but if I do, I would have to go underground. I'm not familiar with it. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated."
So first of all, this guy is not on TRT. He's overdosing testosterone, plus he's overdosing another steroid like nandrolone. Now, when we use nandrolone, we use less than 100 milligrams unless you have a bone fracture, you're severe anemic, or you just had COVID, or you had cancer, or you are 80 years old, you cannot stand up, from the wheelchair. So this guy follows a mild cycle, and I don't believe in ulcerative colitis. You should use any kind of pills because the pills disrupt the intestinal flora, and you're gonna mess up with your diarrhea. And so those 70 alkylated and they mess up the flora. And this is one of the reasons of the bubble gut, abusing the pills.
Wow.
You get distending, and you have a lot of gas. So forget about anabar, lower your testosterone dose and take off the deca. I'm sorry. In ulcerative colitis, I had another case at the office. Is not able to assimilate, you're not able to assimilate the food,
Yeah.
So it's really tough. So don't think about anabolism, okay? Forget about this. Just focus on being healthy, and live a decent life. There are people looking like skeletons, for instance.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd realize, my son, Christian, 23 years old, he was diagnosed almost 2 years ago with ulcerative colitis. He's on a medication called mesalamine, and he doesn't gain weight very easily. He's about 140, 145 pounds. When I was his age, I was already bulked up to well over 200 pounds. It's really hard.
The colon is under inflammation, so you cannot absorb the elements. But this guy has to forget about getting big because you need also the food stuff that you cannot absorb.
Yeah.
So it's another fair game,
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, I want my son to get bigger. I feel terrible.
He can get bigger, but gradually, but not the hard way.
Yeah, well, he's natural too.
Supposed to, and speak to his doctor. I mean, if the doctor thinks about bulking, he's gonna say you're out of your mind and you're not realistic. Okay, I mean, you can increase your size, but not like an ordinary guy.
Yeah, rough. Okay, next one is I started a cycle on New Year's Eve. I'm currently on 400 milligrams test, 200 milligrams equipoise. My hematocrit was 49% and hemoglobin 17.6%. I was planning to increase constantly the doses. Should I do blood exams soon to see if they went even higher? All the other liver enzymes were low. Also, cholesterol was crashed, 67 LDL. I use ezetimibe once a week and a statin 2 times a week.
Yeah, you definitely need to get phlebotomized before increasing the doses. Okay, you're already close to the borderline, so you have hematocrit close to 50%, but your hemoglobin is just under the 18 range. So get a little bit rid of the blood, because you're gonna push the gear now, and it's gonna go higher. So get wasted of the blood,
Okay. This is a good question. Hi guys, how long can you stay on TREN? What do you think?
Forever? Oh, you can stay until you die,
That's good answer, doctor. Good answer. Yeah, I mean, you could.
What can we say those kind of questions? Commit suicide with steroids.
Well, I guess he should have said, how long should I stay on TREN? Obviously, we're not saying anybody should be
Until
on
you have a
TREN.
kidney failure, come on.
Well, if someone says, Dr. George, I'm going to use TREN no matter what you say, how long can I use it without really destroying
Well,
my
listen to
health?
me. Well, of course, you have to follow your kidney function, of course.
Hmm.
Personally, okay, I'm always honest and up and up. When I did my last preparation, it was 22 weeks.
Yep.
I think I was using 2 mLs every week, all the way, you know. So I was using about 200 milligrams for 5.5 months.
Yeah.
But this is something that I do not recommend.
Hmm.
You know,
That's actually a very low. When I hear guys talk about how much TREN, seems like it's about a minimum of 300 a week. And I hear some guys going up to 1,000 milligrams or more.
yeah, I had a guy who was training with Dennis James, and he used casual doses of 400 the most. He was trying to get the pro card.
Yeah.
No, I've heard people saying 1 gram. You know, this is outrageous.
Yeah. I mean, we go back to Dorian Yates, back when he used parabolan, the French one,
Super quick. Yeah.
76 ml each. So it was 152 milligrams a week. That's all
It was
doing.
1.5, so actually it was around 100 milligrams. So 2 vials per week, 200 milligrams. I was really working the real deal pharmaceutical grade parabolan, you know, from France.
I mean, he was winning the Mr. Olympia, and that's all he needed. So I know people are going to say, "Oh, he was on 10 grams of TREN." Anyway, but generally speaking, if someone's using that much, an average person, how long before they start seeing real damage to the is it the liver or the kidneys?
The kidneys, but you have to see the blood pressure, the creatinine, the GFR. All right.
Yeah.
And don't you know that with the kidneys, your urine becomes brownish and smells heavily?
It's brown urine. It's awesome. Well, the worst thing would be blood urine. If you pissed out pure blood, I'd be very worried. But brown's pretty bad too. It's supposed to be kind of a yellow color, pleasant, nice yellow. Clear would be even better because that means you're drinking plenty of water. Just a little yellow tint. Okay, this is a great question for guys out there trying to get their women hornier. That's pretty much every guy that's in a relationship. Besides DHEA, what else can I give my girlfriend to boost her libido through the roof? Are there any good libido enhancers for women with less side effects? What about ashwagandha, D-Aspartic Acid, maca, horny goat weed, damiana, ginseng, vitamin D3, Tongkat Ali? Are these good for women too? I've heard that PT141, bremelanotide, is a real breakthrough for sex drive and desire. It was created especially for women, but men also have great benefits from it. Studies show this is one of the best libido enhancers out there. What do you think? What should be given?
DHEA is really good. It's effective. My current girlfriend takes it and she feels really horny at 25 milligrams.
Is it DHEA?
DHEA is really good. Yeah, but this guy missed also tribulus terrestris and ZMA that are classic.
Okay, tribulus terrestris and ZMA.
Of course, sleep, cholesterol. All right. And that's all. But DHEA is not ergogenic, but it can increase libido because it increases testosterone in women.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, obviously, we know anabolic steroids increase libido in women dramatically.
Yeah, especially with DHT derivatives, you know.
But we're not going to recommend you slip your girlfriend some steroids, and she's not even. That would be awful if you did that. Giving your girlfriend steroids and she didn't even know she was taking steroids. I think that's actually happened more than once. Believe me. Here's here's a question. Can I use 1,500 IU of HCG, 50 milligrams of DHEA, and 25 to 50 milligrams of Proviron per week for life, alongside TRT at 250 milligrams Sustanon from an underground lab? Is this protocol safe in the long run, or should I stop DHEA and Proviron for a while? If so, how long should I take a break from them? What about HCG? Is it sustainable for life with TRT, or does the body get used to it and starts to wear off? How about down regulation?
First of all, lower the testosterone dose too much.
Oh.
You're going to stay with 250 for that long. You're going to have issues with estrogens, hematocrit, and HDL. And then you're going to stay all the way to 25 milligrams of mesterolone and DHEA. You're not going to have issues with lipids of the liver. I'm taking this all year round. And 1,500 is a lot of HCG. You're going to lower it down to 1,000. All right. But this is a good protocol. So 200 testosterone, 1,000 HCG, and 50 DHEA and Proviron.
Yeah. I have heard. I mean, O'Connor used to always talk about that I don't know if it was down regulation or there was some mechanism.
No, speaking about the down regulation, yes.
HCG.
If you abuse it for a long period of time, like let's say the PCT that you use 3,000 or 5,000 IUs per week.
Yeah.
All right, this is a lot, and that's why we say to use microdosing, frequently in the HCG. It's like to mimic the own production of testosterone. Okay, instead of using larger doses. So let's say 2,000 IUs every 3 days for a couple of weeks. This might lead to downregulation of the LH receptors. That's why we small IUs dose. Sorry?
Do you have patients that have been on HCG for years without a break?
Myself.
Oh, okay. So you can use a smaller dose forever.
Of course, yes. That's why we microdose.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Wow, a lot of libido questions this week. What is the best dose of testosterone for extreme libido and the best stack to make you horny all the time for life? Can you please state the dosages and names of all the gear for crazy libido? Dr. Thomas O'Connor made a video called The Best Sex Protocol on Testosterone.
Yeah, but Thomas O'Connor did the video after our question, what the porn stars take. And I was in Dubai, and Jennifer made a great graphic of myself with a towel in the building. You know, back then it was a set of a porn star with some ladies. So I said it's stacking an androgen. Speaking about the PEDs, all right, because Connor also said about the injecting stuff into the carnivorous bodies. You know, all the PD, the phosphodiesterase inhibitors. Now, speaking about the PEDs, we need high testosterone, high masterone, high proviron. All right, and also regulate estrogens and prolactin, the hormonal aspect. So I believe you're gonna feel super horny at least with 0.5 gram of testosterone. All right, and you can stack also masterone that will crash on SHBG and liberate more free testosterone. Control, of course, your estrogen. So with 0.5 gram of testosterone, you need at least 2 anastrozole per week. You can take 4 proviron per day. 100 milligrams. And probably with this protocol, you're going to lose your hair. You're going to have hair thinning because it's extremely DHT release, you know?
No bueno. Yeah, man, what a trade-off. Yeah, he was on, he also had like Cialis and cabergoline in there. But those don't make you horny. Those are for sexual performance. They don't make you any.
No, Cialis, it just increases the blood flow. It's not something cerebral, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of U.S. doctors. They don't realize the whole mechanism to everything. When a guy comes in with erectile dysfunction, they just give him Cialis or Viagra. When a lot of these guys are testosterone deficient, they need to be on TRT, and then they probably wouldn't even need a lot of them. They wouldn't need the Viagra or the Cialis
because those pills are for the older people that have vascular issues. But you know, it's a tricky way to avoid prescription of testosterone because they're afraid.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? They're not afraid to prescribe Viagra, like.
Crazy. There was a guy today that the endocrinologist approved that he has hypogonadism. However, he didn't show his labs, and he told him, "I will not prescribe it, but you can take underground testosterone. I'm not going to deal with it." Wow. Fucking crazy. You know?
Wow, what a lazy doctor. Jeez. Was that in Greece?
So he's avoiding his job, you know?
Yeah.
In a way.
Was that a Greek doctor or a U.S. doctor?
Yeah, Greek doctor, yes.
Oh, okay. You guys are just as bad as us. Okay, last question. Wow, what's all these questions about hornier? I swear I didn't make these up. These come from, guys, as you know, the comments under the videos. This is where we want you to leave your questions for next week. Don't go back to videos from like a year ago and leave questions. I'm never going to look at those. Leave them on this one and we'll answer them next time. So the last question is, why do I always feel a lot hornier but less energetic from libido, farmer grade, which is the testosterone undecanate, and more energy but less libido on Sustanon or Enanthate from underground labs? Is it because my body responds better to a longer ester rather than a medium one? Or could it be because the Sustanon and Enanthate are underdosed? If so, how can I have more energy on something that is underdosed?
Listen, the libido has the benefit that initially you increase dramatically your testosterone by injecting 1 gram. All right, that will gradually elevate, but super spike.
Gotcha.
And of course, release DHT a lot and estrogens. Now about the underground, I'm not sure what's inside, you know.
Right.
Mostly are underdosed, if nothing at all. But
The
Uh,
energy aspect
yeah,
is kind of odd. I mean,
the energy now, listen, libido has the disadvantage that right before injecting, you feel crappy because the testosterone is low. So initially, this guy feels super horny, but right before injecting his next dose, he feels shit because he has a levels of 300.
Yeah, it's probably been. I mean, what's like 4 months, 3 to 4 months between?
3 months, 190 days.
It's a long time to go between shots. Whew, goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah,
Cool. Well, that is all the questions for this week, Doctor. Appreciate
yeah.
it. Guys, again, if you have questions, please leave them here in the comments below. We love your feedback, comments, questions. Of course, pick up the doctor's book on Amazon. Show you one more time. Look at the size of this thing. You can even lift weights with this thing. It's that heavy. The
Yeah, it's
Bible of
2 pounds,
bodybuilding.
it's 2 pounds.
Yeah, because you had to ship it from Greece to me. So yeah, check that out, guys. And we appreciate your viewership. So please subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, hit the like, share the videos on your social media. And of course, hit that bell for notifications because we got so much great content on this channel. And of course, this show is amazing. We appreciate you, Doctor, every week sharing your knowledge, your experience. One of the only doctors in the world who's walked the walk and talked the talk. He's even on the cover of MD, this doctor. That's how good he is. So that's it. Thank you so much, George. Thanks everybody for watching. Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.